hey, you guys.
There's something about a film that's inspired by true events that instantly makes it more interesting. It seems to give it more value. So is this part of what drew you to the project?
Yes, I mean, Sean and I had worked together on Daddy's Home 1 and 2, and we became very close, and I knew of his story, and when he told me what he wanted to do, I just said, absolutely, I would love to be a part of it.
The movie Instant Family is inspired by your own real-life experiences of adopting and raising foster children.
It is.
How does it feel as writer, director, and producer to bring your story to life in this movie?
It's means more to me than anything that I've ever done, and probably anything that I ever will do. It's the most important project, I think, of my life. And my family changed me in so many wonderful ways, and I'm so in love with my kids that this movie is kind of a love letter to all of that. So that it feels great.
Is it true there are some real-life moments from your family life that Sean included in the movie?
Yeah, like I would be on the phone trying to referee an argument between my wife and my daughter. They'd call me while I was on the set, and I'd have to walk away from shooting to take the call, and then, you know, they're like, talk to her, and then they keep arguing, and I never get to say anything until I scream or lose my cool, and yeah, so all those things started ending up in the script, and it was like, little things were pulled from real life experience, but it was fine because it's all relatable and real. So.
Oh, definitely.
If Sean's putting up enough of his stuff out there, it's okay to put a little bit of mine too.
How did you first approach Mark, and what was his reaction to the script?
This is my favorite story. So I really wanted Mark. For whatever reason, I thought he might not do it. I think just because he's so busy and, you know, in demand. So I stayed up really late one night rewriting this email over and over again. I sent it to Mark at about 1 o'clock in the morning. And the next morning I was taking my kids to flag football, and we got there early, and we were in an empty parking lot, and Mark called. And I jumped out of the car, and he said, hey man, I got your email. You know how early I get up, right? And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, I've been sitting here waiting for a good time to call you, for a reasonable time to call you and just say, yes, I'm in. Like, I definitely want to do this. And he told me about some kids that he had met in his life, some kids in foster care, and he was really passionate about it. And he literally said yes right there on the phone, which I've never had that before. I've never had some A-list movie star call me and just say, sure, I'll do your movie. And so that was very exciting. And the funny part was I was all excited, and I get back in my car, and my kids said, what? And I said, that was Mark Wahlberg. He's going to do the adoption movie. And they went, yay! Who's Mark Wahlberg? and I said, he was Dusty in Daddy's Home. And they were like, oh, okay, we like Dusty.
Well, you have great chemistry with Rose Byrne and comic timing. What was it like working with her?
She's fantastic. She's a sweetheart. She gives me a lot of crap. She's really like busting my chops every day, all up in my business. But she's so talented. We had great chemistry, and you know, she's a mom of two too, so she's got a lot going on, and she likes to, you know, mix it up within the, you know, the confines of the material. She's amazing.
There are a lot of laughs in the movie and quite a few heartfelt moments as well. How do you find that delicate balance between an entertaining movie that's like filled with humor and something that's dealing with an issue that's actually quite serious?
From the idea, we always wanted to make this a comedy, make this an entertaining multiplex comedy that just general audiences can come in, have a laugh, and get involved with the characters, rather than make another gut-wrenching drama on the topic of foster care that sends people away with these feelings of sort of fear and trepidation around the topic. We wanted to get into more of the reality of the laughter and the love and the joy that can come out of a situation like this. But still acknowledging that every adoption story is born out of some level of tragedy. So we just tried really hard throughout the process to try to get that balance as perfect as we could get it, to keep people laughing and hopefully crying and hopefully feeling what these characters are going through.
And because this movie is about family, what are some of your favorite family movies to watch?
Oh gosh. That's a tough one. I mean, I think about just the ones that I've shared with my kids recently, like Home Alone and movies like that.
Parenthood is, Mr. Mom, I love Uncle Buck. Anything John Husey with family at its center, I love. Oh my gosh, there's so many of them, but I think those are my big ones. And Parenthood it really has a special place. I went to see Parenthood when I was about 18 years old, and it was so embarrassing because I went with a new girlfriend. We'd been in kind of a short relationship at that point, and it made me cry because it really made me understand what my dad sort of went through. It was so embarrassing to have to cry in front of this girl I'd been dating for 3 weeks or whatever. But that movie's always been one of my all-time favorites.
I've seen every pony and horse movie and riding and equestrian movie that's out there, thanks to my 9-year-old.
What about family activities?
Family activities, well, it depends, because we got a teenager, so she really doesn't want to participate in too much. We just went on a lovely holiday. All the boys are all into football with Mom, so she's included in that. The girls are like, oh God, the Patriots are playing, we better find something else to do. But yeah, dinners, school, there's a lot going on, so we're just dealing with their kind of everyday thing. I think the time we get to really just do what we want as a family is on the holiday.
Now, there's an old showbiz saying, never work with children or animals, yet you seem to work so well with kids. So what's your secret?
I do remember the old W.C. Fields quotes for sure. I think it's, these kids were first of all, they're so impressive. I mean, they show up prepared, like professional. It's like, and the dog was, he's a superstar. We just worked with another dog who was a beagle, which is supposed to be the smartest breeds of dogs, and this dog wouldn't even walk. I couldn't, and the trainer was like, well, just tug him a little bit and call him by his real name. I said, well, he's got a movie name, and I don't want to tug the dog, and I couldn't get the dog to walk. And then she was like, well, you don't like dogs, do you? I was like, why is this about me not liking dogs? It's just a professional environment. Just drag the dog, first of all. That threw me right there.
Oh. Finally, what message would you like audiences to walk away with after seeing this movie?
That these kids in the system, they're just kids, and they need love, and they need parents, and they need family. They need all the things that we all take for granted. And that people shouldn't be afraid of these kids. And hopefully when people are considering starting a family or adding to their family, they'll either consider these kids, or at least if other people they know are considering these kids, that they'll be supportive in that decision after sort of going on this journey with this family. That's what I hope for.
Hopefully a couple of newly adopted children. There are a lot of kids in foster care in need of a family, in need of a home, and if this inspires people to go down that road, that would be amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey